9 male teenagers all committed suicide in September of 2010 due to victimization of bullying, most if not all of which were victimized with anti-gay bullying. Billy Lucas, age 15, September 9, 2010, Indiana. Cody J. Barker, age 17, September 13, 2010, Wisconsin. Seth Walsh, age 13, September 19, 2010, California. Tyler Clementi, age 18, September 22, 2010, New Jersey. Asher Brown, age 13, September 23, 2010, Texas. Harrison Chase Brown, age 15, September 25, 2010, Colorado. Raymond Chase, age 19, September 29, 2010, Rhode Island. Felix Sacco, age 17, September 29, 2010, Massachusetts. Caleb Nolt, age 14, September 30th, 2010, Indiana. Kids who are victimized by bullying for any reason can be induced to want to end their lives. It's heartbreaking. Imagine if you're a 13-year-old male, a 13-year-old gay male, living in a Christian household where homosexuality is condemned and scorned, and you feel like an outcast, a pariah, a sinner, and someone not just inferior, but evil. Imagine being rejected by your own family. Imagine being convicted, hated, and perhaps even punished by the people you thought you could trust more than anything in the world. The people who you thought would accept you no matter who you were. And the people who you thought would love you from the cradle to the grave. Might you feel inadequate? Might you feel unwelcome? Might you feel unacceptable? You're just a 13-year-old boy trying to grow up, still learning more and more about life every day. And one of the things you happen to learn is that you're not straight, you're not heterosexual, you're not attracted to females. You find yourself attracted to boys. You analyze your surroundings and notice how most of the males you meet or perceive out of the corner of your eye when you're wandering amidst the public are males who hold hands with females, males who kiss females, males who speak of wanting to have sex with females because of how sexually attractive they are. When you hear those words, you feel out of place. You look at yourself in the mirror and think, that's not me. You can't imagine yourself holding hands with a female. You can't imagine kissing a female. You can't imagine having sex with a female. However, you could never help but notice how you would look at males and consider doing those things with males. You could never help but notice how you would look at certain males and realize that you thought they were beautiful. You compare yourself to the outside world. You compare yourself to the majority of your male surroundings. You question yourself. You question if you're supposed to be like that. You question if there's anything wrong with you. You question if you're a good person or just a corrupt individual. You question if you're good or evil. You ask yourself, why am I not like them? Why am I so different? You make attempts to conform to the attributes of the majority, but you are unsuccessful. You examine your nature and think, perhaps it's not something I can control. You doubt if it's even a choice. So you stop trying to change yourself. You accept that this is the way you are. And you are prepared to live life with this disposition. But you still cannot help but feel out of place, as if you don't belong. You hide your identity from the whole world. You hear on multitudinous occasions in the confines of your church or the very home that you live in, that men who lie with men as they would with women are abominations. You hear the hatred in their voices. You hear the malice in their convictions. You hear them speak of how these abominations deserve to suffer. You hear them arbitrate their fate following the coming of their deaths. You predict the consequences of your own orientation. You determine the outcome of your death due to your own abnormality. You perceive images of fire. You envision yourself being enveloped in flames for all eternity, for simply sitting in a class in school and being unable to take your eyes off of a handsome-looking male. You feel defective. You feel insecure. You feel less than a human being. You conceal the truth of your interior. You fear the condemnation of your family. You contemplate their possible reactions if they should ever learn of who you truly are. You find yourself lying in bed at night, bathing in your own tears, wishing your family would be more understanding and accepting. You continue to go about your daily life, making your most diligent and persistent efforts to accomplish your goals and be sufficient for your own acceptance. As you undergo sporadic periods of self-loathing and despair, you discover a semblance of hope. In the midst of your peers, you encounter someone who is more accepting of social deviance. You meet someone who is a social deviant himself. You learn that this person is not so much different than you. This person looks upon the world with your eyes. This person looks upon the male species with your eyes. You become less reliant on your seclusion. You become less attached to your fear. You acquire the courage to come out of the closet. You lose the feeling of isolation. Before this person, you felt as though you were just one solitary misfit in the midst of the masses of the more conventional and the more acceptable. Now, you feel as though you're not alone. Your strength is rekindled, and you can live this life as the person you are, walking hand in hand with someone who does not look upon you with disdain, but compassion, understanding, kindness, and affection. You immerse yourself into the impression that all human beings are this tolerant, sensitive, and benevolent at heart. That's when the dark heart of humanity emerges. Sinister figures begin to appear out of the shadows. You've done absolutely nothing to them. You've done absolutely nothing to interfere with their personal lives. You've never even spoken a word to them. They look at you. They detect you wearing rainbow-patterned clothing. They perceive you holding hands with someone of the same gender. They condemn you. They curse you. They hurt you. They hide, watch, and wait, and they engage in their most deleterious bedevilment when no one is there to protect you. They unleash their torment when no one is around to hear your cries. They inflict you with fear. They inflict you with helplessness. They inflict you with pain. And when you undertake measures to seek justice and bring the harassment to the attention of the authorities, they disregard your claims. They ignore you. They claim to not have sufficient evidence or sufficient power to remedy your grievances. Even when you're around other people, when you have countless peers standing around you who could hinder whoever was afflicting you by personally intervening or seeking out a teacher or administrator to come to your aid. When they see you being harassed, when they become conscious of you being bullied, they become swallowed by their indifference. They become subdued by their apathy. They fail to act. They only stand and watch silently as you are tormented with cruelty. And they pretend as though it is not happening, or they convince themselves it is not important, that it is not important enough to think about it, or act upon it, or maybe they offer encouragement to your oppressors by laughing hysterically. They praise the people treating you with cruelty, under the delusion that you deserve it, simply because of who you decide to hold hands with. And they oppress you with just as much cruelty as those who lay their hands on you. Just by approving of the cruelty, or doing nothing to stop the cruelty when they have the power to do so, if they happen to be conscious of it happening. Your peers neglect you. Your peers humiliate you. Your peers abuse you, and your peers make you suffer. The one person who you thought you would always have to protect you, the one person who you thought would always be there to hold your hand no matter what you suffered, happens to suffer just as much as you. And out of fear, he denies ever having associated with you. He declines any will to have your trust. He declines any will to have your companionship. He forsakes you, like all your other peers, because his fear becomes a foundation for social conformity. He hides his identity just like you did, and refuses to make himself there for you. He refuses to make himself vulnerable for discrimination and ridicule. Now you feel like you have nobody. You feel like nobody's worthy of your trust. You feel like nobody is on your side. You feel like everybody is out to get you. You feel like everybody is going to stab you in the back if they get a chance. You feel like everybody hates you. You feel like nobody cares for you. You feel like nobody cares if you're alive or dead. You feel like you have no purpose in life. You feel like no matter how hard you try to succeed, no matter how hard you try to gain the empathy of others, success and empathy are just unattainable. Any semblance of kindness is just an illusion, and nobody will stay by your side. You feel as though everybody is only as good as the world allows them to be, and you have no place in this world out of fear, this world of deception, and this world of discrimination, and this world of hatred, and this world of pain will only hurt you. And you drown in your loneliness, your sadness, your fear, and your tears. And all you want to do is say goodbye. This is wrong. This is unacceptable. There is no excuse for an atrocity as despicable as this. Suicide. Bullying. This is wrong. There are countless different scenarios you could possibly imagine. There are countless different scenarios that could influence a person's will to end their life. Bullying occurs every fucking day. And it occurs more frequently than you could even fathom. Just because you don't see it, and just because you don't hear about it, doesn't mean it doesn't occur. You have no idea what goes on behind closed doors. There are parents who would rather have their children get pregnant than be gay. And have their children get murdered than be gay. I've heard some pretty crazy stories from people who've grown up in Catholic homes and what their parents say. There are parents who would rather roll around in broken glass than have their children be gay. There are theist parents and atheist parents who have this mentality. They're so homophobic that if they ever found out their children were gay, they'd verbally or physically abuse them or even disown them. Their minds are so misguided by ideals of purity that if their children ever deviate from those self-righteous ideals, they're less than human beings. They believe that deviation from these ideals of purity is deserving of punishment, torture, or even death. They've been so brainwashed by closed-mindedness that they don't realize their children are still human beings with hearts of their own. The reality is, homosexuality doesn't entail impurity. Not everyone is straight, but people are too biased to accept that. You might as well be biased about left-handed people. What you need to realize is that not everyone is right-handed. Humanity consists of different people. Some people are male, some people are female, some people are right-handed, some people are left-handed, some people are heterosexual, some people are homosexual. These are the opposites. Female is the opposite of male. Does that equal impurity? Left-handed is the opposite of right-handed. Does that equal impurity? Homosexuality is the opposite of heterosexuality. Does that equal impurity? What is purity anyway? What's pure in this world? Purity is an intangible concept. You're going to have opposites. And being biased to those opposites and these differences only make it harder for us to live together as a species. It only incites needless struggle for our planet. It creates nothing but pain because these people aspire for a concept such as purity, and that's how prejudice is born. You want to create a world of one type of person with one type of sexuality, but that is not even feasible. Scorn for homosexuals makes no sense. Homophobia makes no logical sense. It bears no logical water. If you hate homosexuals and hope for a world with nothing but heterosexuals, you're aiming for a goal as impossible as counting every grain of sand in every desert on the face of the earth. Even if someone like Hitler successfully apprehended every homosexual on the face of the earth and exterminated them all so not a single homosexual was left to exist, you're going to give birth to a child who's homosexual. You might as well try to purge the world of all left-handed human beings. You're going to give birth to a child who's left-handed. You might as well try to purge the world of all the women. You're going to give birth to a female. Gender is ineradicable. Handedness is ineradicable. Orientation is ineradicable. Do you know what ineradicable means? To eradicate means to pull up something by its roots. It means to completely and utterly obliterate. And the only way you can eradicate things like gender, handedness, and orientation is if you make the human race extinct, or at least make one gender extinct so reproduction would be impossible. Every born baby is a potential female, a potential left-handed person, or a potential homosexual, regardless of how many there are in existence already. You might as well get used to them, because they're not going anywhere. But more importantly, they're not hurting anybody. However, there are some of the most hated people on the face of the earth. Some of the most innocent people are also some of the most hated. Homosexuals don't hold up signs that say their God hates anybody. They just want equal rights under the law. But more importantly, they want to be accepted by society. And when you're a young homosexual in middle school or high school, you may not realize that you have your whole life ahead of you. You'll think that the bullying will last forever, or that you'll live with your parents forever. You'll make more friends. You'll have opportunities for yourself. If you grow up and meet someone you love, you can move to a state where you can get married or have housing rights. You don't have to be homosexual to be bullied, of course. I'm not insinuating that at all. Any kind of bullying is bullshit. Sometimes people get bullied due to their race. Parents might bully or harass their children if they date people who are racially different. I used to date someone of a Middle Eastern race, and her parents despised both her and me for that. I'm currently dating a half-black, half-white female, and both her parents and my parents are perfectly fine with that, because it doesn't make any sense to make racial limitations on people that your children date, or even associate with. We all bleed red. We all breathe oxygen. We all come white. We're all human beings. How about we unite ourselves for what's the same and not segregate ourselves for what's different? Differences should be celebrated. You shouldn't hate someone or bully someone because of our differences. Imagine a world of one skin color, one religion, one sexual orientation, one eye color, one hair color, one clothing style, one music taste, and one universal personality. How significant would anything be? Practically nothing would be significant. Nothing would be interesting, nothing would be meaningful, nothing would be valuable, and nothing would be beautiful if there weren't so many differences. So differences should be appreciated. We should celebrate the attributes of our minorities and not attempt to banish them from the world. If you know someone who believes in God, Jesus, Satan, Allah, Yahweh, Zeus, Thor, Cthulhu, Iluvatar, the Flying Spaghetti Monster, the Dark Carnival, or any deity, religion, or mythology imaginable, respect them and celebrate their existence. If someone wears a different style of clothing than you, or has a different hairstyle than you, respect them and celebrate their existence. If someone you know is black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, or purple, respect them and celebrate their existence. If you know someone who's heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, or transgender, respect them and celebrate their existence. Don't look at them and call them a freak. Anything you do to them can be traumatizing. Any slur that you throw in their face can echo in their brains for years, or even their entire lives. Nobody is superior to anyone. We're all human beings, and we're all equal under the law. You have absolutely no excuse to hate anybody, insult anybody, verbally abuse anybody, or physically assault anybody for their sexual orientation, race, gender, religion, handedness, clothing style, hairstyle, music taste, education, profession, mental abnormalities, or anything else, even if they're your children or your family. There's no excuse to physically assault. There's no excuse to bully. There's no excuse to hate. Love them. You're not the only one in this world. One world, one people. For anyone out there who is a victim of bullying, please do not give up hope. If someone is bullying you, you can get help. Even if someone in your own family is bullying you or abusing you, one thing that you should never do is feel too afraid to get help. You are not powerless. You are not helpless. You have all the power in the palm of your hand. There are nearly 7 billion people in the world, and virtually countless of them would be willing to help you. Any teacher in your school would be willing to help you. Any administrator in your school would be willing to help you. Any security guard in your school would be willing to help you. Any counselor at your school would be willing to help you. If you don't attend school and people still put their hands on you, call the police. Don't doubt that they won't get involved. The police will arrest people for just jaywalking on the street. If you show them a bruise or just accuse your family of abusing you, the police will intervene and make sure you're in a safe environment. You have so many teachers, administrators, security guards, counselors, and police officers at your disposal. How many people are hurting you? The teachers, administrators, security guards, counselors, and police officers outnumber your bullies and abusers at least 100 to 1. The one thing that would obstruct you from having people come to your aid is you feeling powerless. Bullying victims are easily deprived of their courage. But if you keep your courage, you can do anything. If you believe in yourself, you can do anything. Go to an authority figure and report your bully. Report your abusive family member. Show them a bruise. Show them a photograph. Give them a name. They will get involved, and your bullies will never mess with you again. Your bullies are nothing compared to your local teachers, administrators, security guards, counselors, and police officers. What authority does a random bully have compared to them? Even if you have 10 bullies, one police officer can take care of all of them. The only thing that can stop them is you. Only you can come to these guys and tell them what's going on. They're not mind readers. If you just take a stand and speak your voice, you can accomplish anything. The world is yours. Your local teachers, administrators, security guards, counselors, and police officers can't do anything if they don't know what's going on. You can take control of the situation. You can rise above your oppressors. You can act outside of the situation. Nobody has control over you, no matter what you think, no matter what they think. The authority figures who can help aren't mind readers. All you have to do is set up a counselor's appointment and say that someone is bothering you, and they'll never bother you again. The worst you can do is feel powerless. The bullies want you to feel powerless so they can lie to themselves about them having control over you. They want to pretend like they have control over you, but that is false. Clench your fucking fist. Stand tall and say, "Fuck you, world. I define myself." Say that with me. Fuck you, world. I define myself. One more time. Fuck you, world. I define myself. Now go out and get some help. These guys are already on your side. You just need to give them the knowledge. Give them the credentials so they can enforce their authority. You have more people who are willing to help you than you can even count. Have faith in yourself and have faith in humanity. Listen to me. There is absolutely, positively, unquestionably, unambiguously no reason in the world to doubt yourself, hurt yourself, or end your life. Wipe away those tears. Put away the pills. Put down the razor blade. Keep your feet on the ground. Look at yourself in the mirror and embrace your identity. The bias, prejudice, intolerance, and malevolence of the world is nothing compared to the strength you have inside you. If you love yourself, You're a steel wall against a world throwing feathers at you. Have confidence. Love every aspect of who you are. Don't just love the soft part of the bread. Love every microscopic crumb of who you are. I look at myself in the world and think, you guys have nothing against me. I look at myself in the world and think, they have no power. They have no power compared to what I wield. I look at myself in the mirror and think, you don't fuck with the biohazard. No one fucks with you. You're an invincible and independent person. And even if there are people who dislike you or hate you, there are endless more people who care about you and love you. Even if I don't know you, I want you to know that I love you. You're a human being just like me, and I want you to know right now, at this very moment in time, that someone exists who loves you for just the way you are. Your individuality means everything to me. If you just need someone to talk to, I'm here for you. The people of To Write Love Hunter Arms and the Suicide Hotline are always willing to talk to you as well. I'll put links to them in the description. My purpose in life is to encourage you to be yourself, to embrace your identity with integrity, to be honest with how you see yourself on the inside and the outside, and to be immune to the condemnation of others. You have an entire life of infinitely valuable and joyful experiences ahead of you, and there's no reason to end your life. You might as well blow up your car if you run out of gas or get a flat tire. You can refuel your car and you can inflate your tires again. Even if all your wheels fall off, those aren't the only wheels on the face of the earth. Put 4 more wheels on your vehicle, get back on the road, and you'll undergo more priceless experiences than you even thought were possible. And you'll meet more amazing people than you ever thought could exist. I have faith in you, and I support you. If you're a minority, if you're a social deviant, or if you're an outcast, you're welcome on my channel. You're worthy of my friendship. You're worthy of my respect. You're worthy of my love. The only reason I wouldn't have respect for you is if you bully others. If you're hurting somebody in life, you need to stop. Be tolerant. Be open-minded. Let people be who they are. Shake a stranger's hand. Say hi to strangers. Don't bully. Don't harass. Don't abuse. If you're hurting strangers or hurting your family, you have absolutely no conceivable idea what you're doing to them. Give them the respect they deserve. Give them the freedom they deserve. Allow them to live life happily. There is no justification for your prejudice. These people are not a threat and they're doing nothing to you. This world doesn't revolve around you. It's about the collective. It's about living in harmony. Keep the peace and keep your fist to yourself. Lose the hatred. There's no room in this world for your hatred. For anyone out there hurting themselves or considering suicide, please contact the suicide hotline. If you need someone to talk to or to trust, contact me or contact To Write Love Hunter Arms. Just remember everything I've said. To anyone out there who has ever experienced suicide or lost loved ones due to suicide, I cannot say that I know precisely how you feel, but I have lost a friend, even though her death was not of her own doing. I understand what it's like to miss someone. I understand what it's like to have that person's memory echo through your mind every day as you wish you could just have one last minute with that person so you could just tell them how much they mean to you and just so you could have one last chance to say goodbye. I understand what it's like to continue thinking about them every day, even years after their death. Seeing them in your mind during the day, while you're awake, and during the night, while you're asleep. I know my memory of Jordan is everlasting and her essence will never leave my mind, even when I'm on my very deathbed. If you've lost someone, I know you can be strong. I know you can be independent. Whenever I listen to a band that Jordan liked, I enjoy whatever song I'm listening to as much as I can possibly can. In her honor. Since she can't be allowed to enjoy that music, I'll do it for her in her honor. Her death is not in vain. If I wasn't enjoying that music, and if I wasn't enjoying life, what would she think? She'd be like, I'd roll around in broken glass to be able to be alive and listen to that band again. And you're going to deprive yourself of enjoying that just because I'm dead? It's honorable to her that I continue to live life and carry on. It'd be disgraceful to be depressed because of her death. Her life is not a waste. She lived 18 wonderful years. She made the world more beautiful with her existence, and even though she's dead, her memory echoes through my mind no matter how old I am, and her memory inspires me to be happier in her honor. She's immortal. Just because you're dead doesn't mean you're gone. She'll never be gone. I'll never stop thinking about her, and I'll never stop loving her, even though I can't bring her back. The most I could do is honor her by cherishing every aspect of my conscious life. The sun, the moon, the light, the dark, the sky, the ground, the trees, the grass, the roads, the cars, the people, the music, silver sun pickups, the art, the literature, the foods, the drinks, the air, and the very body I use to walk this earth. And I'm the happiest person in the world. Death is a natural part of life. You cannot have life without death. And if death comes earlier for others, it doesn't mean it's your fault, and it doesn't mean that you should neglect the elements of your life. Never lose sight of the values. Never lose sight of the values of what you have. When I die, I'll never think of Jordan again. I'll never think of anything again. My mind will be non-existent. That's why I'll always be happy whenever I think about Jordan. I'll always be happy until the day comes when I forget about her forever and my mind never processes another thought again. You see how valuable your memory is? Your memory is a priceless artifact in and of itself. Are you going to spend your life in misery before you forget about your loved ones forever? Or will that person inspire you to cherish every aspect of your life? That's what I do. That's how I honor Jordan. I'll never forget about her until I'm dead. And I'm not going to put her to shame by neglecting and forsaking all the joyful and beautiful things in life, because if she had my life, she'd treat every song I listen to like a mountain of gold. That's how I live my life. Every song I listen to is a mountain of gold. Every cup of coffee I drink is an ocean of gold. Everything is just our gargantuan quantum of gold. And that's not a metaphor. That's an understatement. I can't put a price on Jordan's memory. I can't put a price on my life. I'm an atheist, so to me, this is all there is. Regardless of your beliefs or lack thereof, never let a person's memory deprive you of your volition, your determination, and your purpose, whatever you make it to be. Jordan's not coming back, but she's not leaving my mind until I'm dead in the ground. Good memories save your life, so please do not despair over your loved ones. Regardless of whether they died on natural causes, if they were killed, or if they ended their own lives. You loved them, and they lived happy lives. If they were ever in pain, at least they're not suffering anymore. Think about them with joy and never blame yourself for their fate. Keep their memory near and dear to you and just carry on. You have people here among the living who love you, and we're not going to leave you, even if we were threatened to. I'd die for my family, even if you're not a juggalo. You're my family no matter how you identify yourself. And I don't want you to consider leaving this life, or to neglect the boundless values of life, even if you miss your loved ones. I miss Jordan, but we have virtually infinite memories that we can make for ourselves in life. So are they going to be miserable, or are they going to be prosperous? Everyone in my Juggalo fam and all of my nearest and dearest friends, regardless of how you identify yourself, please never feel inclined to bully others. Please never feel powerless if you are bullied yourself. Please never feel inclined to consider losing this life. And please never lose sight of the people who care about you. Because if you should die, I promise you, there will be someone, somewhere, who will think about you perpetually until their death. You have a place in this world. If there's anywhere I can exemplify, I can tell you that you have a place with me. I am the TheMassaCreature. Thank you for watching. Stick to your guns and light your own path.